getting to drag Dan into an attic here.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's cool outside, but it's about 110 degrees up here.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Tell you what, I'll get when you
Or you want me to come all the way up in here?
that's up to you. I'm not going to make you do anything. We don't have the same contract, but
Yeah. Let's see if I can step on that.
if it was the other Robert, I'd make him come.
Here we go.
Uh-oh, be careful.
What am I knocking?
Just the attic thing. I'll give you the flashlight.
Okay.
That way I can see what you're looking at.
I don't want to fall through the ceiling.
Me either, but I think this is solid. I'll just step back a little bit.
All right. Wow. It's really something. That is really something.
What I think is really cool about this, for me, is seeing these well-preserved wood shingled roof. And this is built with square nails, which would generally put it prior to 1880. And ever since I did this, I wanted your take on what exactly happened here.
Well, it's built a lot like my house. My house has the front 2 rooms with a hallway in between, and then 2 rooms down each side that originally had a back porch in between those rooms. And it's built very much like it. It's built very much like the house next door to me also. The old Charlie Smith house. And that is really something.
And one thing that people had a misconception on the last video I did, where they thought that OSB roof is what I was talking about when I said they rebuilt this roof.
Yeah.
But this was done long before. That OSB is just modern for shingles.
That's right.
This was, when would you say that this was redone like this?
Well, I have always heard that Mr. Billy Whitehead built this house, and he was a postmaster here in Waverly Hall. And that's just always been what I've heard. Miss Margaret Pitts always said Mr. Billy built that house. Well, I'm wondering, did she mean that he rebuilt this house? Is that what they were remembering? Were they remembering that he rebuilt it? Or did he build this original frame and then renovated the house later? You can tell that the chimneys, I mean, you could tell from the outside that the chimneys were added on to make them taller.
And one thing that I thought was interesting is that this one is fieldstone all the way up to the top of the old roof, and then it's brick after that. But the brick that's added on top of the fieldstone matches a more modern brick. When I say modern brick, I mean late 1800s, 1900s, like that chimney over there. And that chimney is brick all the way down to the ground, whereas that one over there is fieldstone. So would you think that chimney's been added into the house?
Probably so, since this one over here is rock. Or that chimney may have just been the living room was always nicer than the room across the hall. One room was considered a parlor while the other one was a bedroom. The parlor chimney and fireplace was always nicer than the one adjacent to it. Okay. Those ceiling joists in there and these ceiling joists here are all the same age. You can tell they're all the same. And the rafters right here came up and they scabbed on a rafter there to extend that new roof up. See where they scabbed on beside it? So this room right here originally was part of the house. So this house originally was 2 front rooms and then 2 rooms that went back this way. The floor plan of this house was almost identical to mine, except my house, the front room on the left extended out further than the room on the right. But the brickwork, same brick, same rafters, Everything about it is almost identical to the way mine is built.
When was your house built?
Mine was built about 1890 or 91. But it is built with square nails.
Is it?
Yes. But 90 and 91 is the years that I was told.
So somebody may have just had an excess of square nails here.
Could have. I didn't mean to leave you in the dark.
No, you're fine. I was following the light.
And we've got up here the original. Okay, this was the original gable roof that ran all the way across that way.
Another thing.
And it was, one of the things that I was wondering about was,
I'm gonna get off that side.
if this roof was hipped on this end, or if it was gabled. It was gabled. So it ran out and it had a gable on that end. This is very neat.
Tell you what, Dan, well, of course I called you immediately when I saw this up here, but you know, I've seen plenty of changes in attics before, but never anything quite like this.
Did you see that? Where the pine sap has run out of that. Right on this side. Now I was on the side up through here.
Oh. Oh, wow.
So this is all original, all welded here. And then here they scabbed on rafters to build a really steep roof over this one. So this roof ran that way, and then it went back that way.
Why do you think they would have raised the roof?
They raised the roof so that they could add on to the back of the house and not have a flat part over these two rooms back here on the back. Because see, that's the disadvantage of my house. Because my house has a big flat area back there that ever since it was built, I've been told there was a problem with it leaking. Now we've got a modern thing on it now, what they call a rubber roof. But in my childhood, it was always rolled roofing that was put on it, and it leaked over the years. But when I bought the house, I had a roofer to come, and the only other option was to build it up, and we didn't do that. So we did a rolled roofing out of rubber, and it's welded, bonded together with a type of. He had a little furnace up there, and he melted that rubber together somehow. This is what I was interested in seeing, is if this front room was originally part of the original house. It certainly looks like it, don't it?
It does look like it, but if you look at this, the way the old roof, look back here, Dan. You see where the old roof comes down, and this used to have shingles on it.
It did. It sure did. So this came all the way over. These rafters, there would have been one of these resting on each one of these right here. Right beside that one and beside that one. Huh. It's really been changed.
Now, another thing is if you look at the purlins, put the light over here. This was obviously shingled roof too, though, so because it has all the nails, all the little nails.
That's right.
Whereas the other parts of the high roof don't have all the tiny nails. They've got more like 10 or something like that. So, you know, and I don't know, but it's just...
Well, if you look and see where those ceiling joists there are notched, see all the notches on the ends?
I do.
It makes it appear as if that was lumber brought from somewhere else. It's been used,
Gotcha.
but it's notched on that end also. I don't know. I'm still thinking that this room was added onto the front of this house later.
Yeah.
And that may have been why they had to put such a steep roof, as they needed the pitch to cover this floor space all the way out.
You know, Dan, this maybe we're looking at several eras of changes, because if you look at this comes down like this was a roof right here. But then this that's added on here is the same height as this, and it was obviously done with shingle, so it was very early like this.
Yeah.
But then the big roof is then another change, maybe.
That's right. The big roof was a later change for sure.
So, I mean, you know, I know that we can't really say for sure, but what kind of errors would you say that we're looking at here with the old roof, the addition of that room?
Well, this attic reminds me a lot of the Stratford house that was across the road, the old McCullough home. It was torn down several years ago, and I got to see up close how it was built. I went all up in the attic of it, and this looks like it was probably built by the same carpenter. It's almost identical to it. That house was built, I believe, in 1881 or 82, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and look. But anyway, it was built in the early 1880s, and I'm thinking that this one is probably about the same age.
So 1880, then early 1900s for the other roof?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Miss Margaret Pitt spoke as if she remembered him building this house, like she would have been a little girl. She was born in 1894. So, you know, she remembered things around here when she was 7 and 8 years old, so that would have put it around about 1904, 1905, something like that. Be careful walking up here. I see a lot of,
Chewed wire?
no, like that. See that nail sticking straight
Oh,
up?
yeah, no, I didn't
There's
see
one right
that.
there too.
I saw some chewed wire too, but the power's off.
You see
so-
that?
Yeah, I see that. Be careful, Mr. Dan.
Well, this has really been interesting.
It has. It's been interesting and it's been hot.
I'm sorry that we just got the opportunity to go up in here now. I would like to have been able to ask the former owners. Unfortunately, they're no longer living, but the ones who lived most of their lives here in this house, if they knew anything about that. I never heard them mention anything about the house being renovated to this extension. But surely they must have known that it was.
I'm just going to walk over here and get another shot of these old wood shingles because you know,
Okay.
yeah.
If you look right here, this is just like my house. You had these two gables that came down, and then this was a valley, a flat roof. This flat roof was covered in tin. See, it's still covered in tin. So that tin is underneath those shingles.
Yeah.
All of this is covered in tin. All the way over in here, I would imagine. Up under all that. See?
Yep.
That's a tin roof. And in order to extend this house, in order to build additions back, they could not extend this flat roof, because if they extended, see, this roof is pitched so that rainwater would run down that way.
Yeah.
In order to extend this house, they had to put a different roof on it.
Right.
Because see, there are more rooms behind there.
Yep.
And again, this may have caused a lot of problems with leaking, and they said, we're going to fix that. We're going to put a roof on here that water will run off of. So they just covered the whole house with one big roof, which makes sense. I kind of wish someone had done this at my house.
Right. Will you put the flashlight back here? I want to get just another shot of these old wood shingles, because I just think that they're super neat to be able to see the old way that these houses were roofed here. And it's interesting. These are all little square nails that
And it didn't leak a drop.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want me to go down first, or are you gonna go down?
I can get down.
Okay.
If you want to keep the light up here, you can.
All right.
Leave
Keep
you in the
going.
dark.
Yeah. Do you remember when I did the video of it,
Hold my
and
glasses too for me, please.
one of those rooms going to the back has beaded board wall?
Yeah. Now that I don't understand. I have no explanation for that.
Don't fall. That one's loose that you're holding on to.
Yeah.
That one's not. Don't fall, Mr. Dan.
Be all right. Can't do that. Can't see when I'm putting my foot on it. Okay, I see it now.
As long as I don't suddenly not see you anymore, we're okay.
All right. Okay, you bring my glasses down.
All right. I'll go ahead and give you the light, and that way I'll give you the camera too. So,
You sure?
yeah.
I need a light?
Nah, I'll hand you down the camera when get down there. I don't want anything in my hand when I'm climbing out of here. I can give it to you when you're lower if you want.
No, I got it.
Okay. It's still recording, but it's okay. You don't have to hold it anytime straight. Just be safe going down the ladder. Now let me try to do it. Whoa, man. It feels like a nice refrigerator down here after being up there.
Yeah.
Thanks for going up in the attic with me, Mr. Dan.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. That was quite an experience.